Welcome back to Secrets Behind the Stars. Before we begin, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you want to go the extra mile, hit the join button to support the channel. Tonight's story takes us down a path paved with memories, charged with fresh misunderstandings, and crowded with feelings that the audience never truly let go of. We're talking about two names that became a touchstone for an entire generation of viewers, Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu. For years, their pairing was more than a TV partnership. Their scenes felt lived in, their timing instinctive, and their glances filled with an intimacy that made fans whisper that something deeper had to be there. Even after their iconic project ended, the space they left behind never really closed. Fans carried those moments like mementos, returning to clips and interviews the way some people revisit songs from a happier time. Their chemistry wasn't just admired, it was believed in. But recently, the atmosphere changed in an instant. A powerful episode from Barış's new series aired, showcasing intense scenes with his new co-star. One episode, a handful of charged moments, and the internet flipped overnight. A conversation that might have stayed casual turned into a thunderstorm of theories. Timelines filled with side-by-side screenshots, speculation threads multiplied, and before long, people were pointing to a possible love triangle. Barış, the new on-screen partner, and, inevitably, the ghost of what so many still felt between him and Elçin. The rumors spread so quickly that his team drew a firm line. In a brief statement, they said what they hoped would close the door: Barış is focusing on his craft. Whatever existed with Elçin belongs to another chapter. The message was crisp, controlled, and meant to set boundaries. But instead of cooling the temperature, it only made the conversation more fiery. Days later, paparazzi caught Barış leaving a production meeting. The questions came in waves, but he kept his composure. He paused, adjusted his jacket, and said something simple: "I'm doing the work I love. The rest is part of yesterday." No denials, no dramatic clarifications, no sharp turn toward a conclusion. Just a statement calm enough to be open to interpretation. And as always, silence and restraint threw dry wood onto a bonfire already roaring. Then the internet received more fuel. A behind-the-scenes clip, short and deceptively harmless, leaked from the set. In the snippet, Barış stands with a script in hand, reading lines with quiet focus, while his new co-star hovers close and gives him a soft, knowing smile. That single smile became the next headline, the next freeze frame, the next obsession. Body language threads popped up. Amateur experts compared it to past moments from old press tours. Some claimed the glance carried genuine emotion. Others insisted it was normal, a professional lightness between two colleagues. But nuance doesn't go viral, mystery does. People debated, and debated loudly. Meanwhile, Elçin spoke without speaking. She posted a dimly lit Instagram story with a single lyric on top, the kind that felt like a sigh whispered into the dark: "What's gone doesn't find its way back." Was it about him? About the new series? About something entirely personal and private? No one could say for sure. What everyone could do was guess, and they did, fiercely. Comment sections turned into group therapy sessions where strangers poured out their thoughts on love, closure, and timing. As if on cue, the show doubled down on the emotions swirling in the air. In the very next week's episode, Barış delivered a letter scene that cut right to the bone. The line that seized the spotlight was stark and tender in equal measure: "I tried to hold on, but I'm not the man I once was." Overnight, that sentence spread across fan pages like a confession written in the margins of a diary. To some, it felt unmistakably personal. To others, it was just the perfection of an actor meeting a role. The writers stepped forward and clarified: the scene was part of the script, not a message to anyone from his past. But when an audience has loved a story deeply, official words can sound like static. Hearts prefer the dots they can connect on their own. The next day, Elçin posted a photo of a sunset with another caption that felt like a touch on an old bruise: "Some scars stay out of sight, but their ache never leaves." Again, no context. No explanations. No names. And yet, the responses came in waves, thousands of comments, thousands of interpretations, each one a mirror reflecting what the commenter needed to believe. Around the same time, a close friend of Elçin quietly shared that she's focusing on her emotional well-being. She wants peace. She's choosing routines that build her back up, and she's letting go of anything that unbalances her. That was the first moment when the conversation shifted. Maybe the posts weren't signals. Maybe they were the steps of someone reclaiming her quiet. For a heartbeat, the tone softened. Even so, fans couldn't shake the world they once watched the two create. Their shared screen time had felt like a whisper of fate, and for many, seeing them with different partners felt like losing a story they had invested in with their whole hearts. It wasn't just entertainment, it was a beautiful dream that shaped memories and made ordinary days feel electric. People close to Barış say he carries a deep respect for what he and Elçin built, not just for its success, but for how it touched people. But they also say that, for him, that chapter has been closed with gratitude. He's committed to new work, new risks, new roles that demand all of him. Of course, where there's love from the audience, there are also whispers. A quote began circulating, attributed to Elçin but never confirmed: "If destiny wants our paths to cross again, we'll meet where we're meant to." Did she ever say it? No one can verify. But sometimes fans need a line like that to hold on to, the way a lighthouse holds on to the dark. In the middle of all this noise, a quieter truth sits at the center. On-screen emotion can be as potent as a memory you wish you could touch. Sometimes a show gives you a feeling you didn't know you were waiting for, and when it's gone, you keep listening for its echo. You return to interviews, behind-the-scenes clips, outtakes, and candid moments, hoping to catch the heartbeat you swear you heard the first time. There's also the practical side of this story. Sets are places where intensity is crafted, where proximity can blur lines for viewers watching from far away. An actor's job is to make every look true and every word heavy. If they do it well, the audience forgets it's a job. They fall in love with the illusion. And maybe with the people who made it feel real. As the weeks passed, the cycle continued. Every new trailer for Barış's project sparked a wave of analysis. Every post from Elçin was catalogued and interpreted like a clue. A laugh spotted in a candid video became a thesis. A sigh in an interview became evidence. Two people, navigating their work and their lives, became characters in a story the audience was writing in real time. What gets lost in speculation is how a boundary drawn on paper isn't the same as a boundary felt in the heart. It's possible to honor a past partnership and still move toward what's next. It's possible to be grateful for a connection without needing to repeat it. The audience may want a loop, the people at the center often want a line that bends forward. And yet, nostalgia is a stubborn thing. It shows up like a song you thought you forgot and pulls you back into a room you swore you'd left. For fans of Barış and Elçin, that room was filled with laughter, shared glances, and the electric charge of a romance written for the screen but stamped onto their hearts. Watching them now, in different scenes with different partners, can feel like watching a beloved novel be shelved. There is respect there, but there is also a quiet ache. So where does that leave us tonight? With a question only you can answer. Do the echoes of their shared past still shape the present, or is it time for the audience to step back and let both of them write new chapters without the weight of yesterday's expectations? Tell us what you feel in the comments. Share the moment that made you believe, or the moment that helped you let go. Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the join button to support Secrets Behind the Stars. Stories like this remind us how powerful on-screen feelings can be. So powerful that years later, the audience still feels the pull. They kept the memory alive. They made it part of who they are. Thank you for watching, and stay close for more stories just like this, where the line between fiction and the heart grows thin, and where the stars remind us that some scenes never truly fade.